Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing a review of TMNT Shredder in Hell. This is a comic that I got. This was one that Chris sent me. And basically this is from the IDW Ninja Turtle collection. I know this comic has been out for a couple years now. It's actually kind of a funny story. I have a local comic shop that's actually not too far from where I live, and basically this had been on their shelves for years. Like, this was on there, like, when I first heard of the place in, like, 2019, it was sitting there. I was like, oh, cool, maybe I'll buy it one day. Still sitting there until, like, for years. It had just been sitting on their shelf, just kind of collecting dust. And every time I went in there, I was like, oh, I'll get it another time. I'll get it another time. And then I was like, fuck it, I will finally get this book. So, what is this comic worth your time? Well, let's get into that. So like I said, this is part of the IDW Ninja Turtle continuity. Pretty deep, but don't worry, it's not too deep, and they give you a backstory as to where it is. So it's not, it doesn't go too deep, and it does give and it's not too, like, intrinsically tied into what's going on with the Ninja Turtles currently. It does tell you a few things that you do need to know, and that's really it. So, this takes place after Shredder's death at the hands of Splinter, who decapitated him. And he's now in Hell, and what has happened is that Oroku Saki's soul has been divided. For those who don't know, in the IDW continuity, Oroku Saki was immortal and had a previous life known as Tetsuo Takashi, Takashi Tetsuo. So Oroku is now traveling through the underworld in order to find peace within his soul, which has been manipulated by the Dragon God. So yeah, first and foremost, this book is beautiful. This book is very fucking beautiful. I absolutely adore it. The artwork and the writing is done by Mateus Santaloco. I hope I'm saying that name right. The artwork in here is just downright beautiful. Like, it is a very just stunning book, first and foremost. Like, even the, like, demons that you see, like that thing right there, is pretty cool to see. The story does, I think, like, it's also funny because we had Shredder, when Shredder in Hell was announced, Godzilla in Hell had just ended, so it made some people think, are they just sending all the IDW characters to Hell? And I'm like, and I also have this sneaking suspicion that the people at IDW were like, hey, Godzilla in Hell did really good. Let's send the Shredder to Hell. Like, let's send the Shredder to Hell. And I guarantee you, someone in that office was like, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, Godzilla in Hell was cool, but wait a minute. Just hear me out. Okay, the Shredder, but he's in Hell. Jenkins, that's amazing. Here, take my car keys and go home and fuck my wife. And send me the video. I'm kind of kinky like that. I'm not sorry. I'm really not. Anyway, so as we go through the story, Oroku has dealt with the sins of all of his past, but he does have Hamato Yoshi at his side. Splinter, who does get turned into his soul does get turned into a rat, and he becomes like his animal guide. Honestly, I would love this as a video game. I think we could all agree playing as the Shredder and fighting demons. Although there isn't a lot of demon fighting in here, it's more of revenants that he encounters, of people that have died. And if you're thinking you're going to see, like, Bebop and Rocksteady and stuff like that, that's not what happens. But if you are, like, a fan, if you have been following the Ninja Turtle IDW comics, then you're going to see some characters in here that have shown up in some capacity. I also really like that Oroku is trying to, like, it's really kind of a moral quandary for him, is that, is Oroku destined to be evil? Or is he, you know, does he have the capacity to change? Furthermore, is he nothing more than a pawn to the Dragon God, who is very much obsessed with using his body as a vessel to take back the world? I really do like that this, like, does pose a lot of the questions to Shredder, that maybe you never were good, maybe you never were, you know, maybe you were just a tool, maybe you weren't some big bad, and maybe you were just a pawn for a bigger bad. And those are really fun questions, and it is really cool that, like, This definitely takes a lot of inspiration from things like Dante's Inferno, God of War, not just Dante's Inferno the poem. I'm talking Dante's Inferno the game too. But this is a rather just fascinating story. You even get to see Revenant versions of the Ninja Turtles. There's a lot of great character moments for sure for Oroku, who is just being tormented on every level of this book. He is just getting his shit handed to him mentally and physically throughout the book, and you almost feel bad for him, and then you realize, oh yeah, this is the fucker who tried to destroy the Yoshi family. So you can't feel totally bad for him. But it is an amazing book. Like I said, you just need like a bare knowledge of what goes on in the IDW books to understand this. And yeah, if you just want to see the Shredder fight demons and revenants of his past, there's also a kaiju battle in here. I don't want to give too much away, but there is like a kaiju battle in hell that does happen, and it's as awesome as you think. So there you go. I highly recommend TMNT Shredder in Hell, or just Shredder in Hell, I guess you could call it. But yeah, if you can find it, I say check it out. Like I said, you don't need too much knowledge from the IDW books, and it does kind of leave open for an ending that does tie back into Volume 23 of Ninja Turtles, which has long since passed. But yeah, this is definitely worth a read if you are a Ninja Turtle fan or been following the comics. Yeah, definitely pick this up. Although you're probably better off getting this in one of the I'm sure this is collected in one of the omnibuses that IDW has been putting out. But anyway, so there you go, guys. That's my review for Shredder in Hell. Just comment, and if you've read it, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.